It's Christmas time, and M.A.S.K leader Matt Trakker is showing his adopted son Scott and robot companion T-Bob around the toy department of a major store. We're talking M.A.S.K, Christmas Kidnap, and Mardi Gras Mystery. Hit it! It was 1985. Kate Bush released Hounds of Love. $400 million of gold and silver was found in a Spanish galleon shipwreck from 1622, and Scott and T-Bob helped M.A.S.K defeat V.E.N.O.M, like Penny helped Inspector Gadget. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me is a Totally Rad Christmas All-Star and Ratty winner. You'll know him from Pop Culture Roulette. It's Nicholas Pepin. Nicholas, how's it going?
It's pretty good. Can't wait to talk about some M.A.S.K.
Oh, man. M.A.S.K is one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I'm wearing a M.A.S.K shirt right now. I have like some M.A.S.K toys in a box that's like 2 feet from me. I mean, I love M.A.S.K. But it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a bit since I've been on, but I'm always glad to talk Christmas, even though it's February.
And happy Mardi Gras. Yeah. So, yeah. How you been?
Oh, it's been a bit stressful, the holidays and, some personal stuff going on, some job changes, some just trying to get, life in general. But yeah, you know what? That's what put all that aside and just bask in the glory of the 80s. That is Christmas and toys.
It doesn't really get much better than that. I mean, that was like the golden time when we were little, right? Christmas time. You're going to get something awesome in the 80s.
Absolutely.
Well, we're here to talk M.A.S.K. Before we do that, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to hit me with the first answer you can think of, okay? You don't have to think too hard about it. So let's say that Miles Mayhem is Scrooge. Recast the ghosts of Christmas and Marley, so 4 ghosts total, with Cobra Commander, Skeletor, Megatron, and Mumra.
Oh. That's, man. All right, so I think Mumra's got to go Christmas past. It makes the most sense. Skeletor, man, I want to put him somewhere, but I think Christmas Future is going to go, Skeletor's going to go Christmas. Cobra Commander, and then who was the fourth one?
Megatron.
I got Cobra Commander's going to be Marley, and I guess by default, Megatron goes in at Christmas Present. But
it's actually where I had him as well. That's my exact list. Yeah, I love that. So in like the early to mid 2000s, M.A.S.K was absorbed into G.I. Joe.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and Venom was, retroactively absorbed into Cobra. So
okay.
that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, I like that. Who would you rather have as a sidekick, T-Bob or Snarf?
Oh man, that's tough.
I know.
I might go T-Bob just because he speaks a little bit more than just saying Snarf.
Yeah, I would go T-Bob because at least he could turn into a scooter.
Right, yeah. Or a helicopter or go gadget arms. Or,
That's right. And finally, which 80s action movie character would most likely join M.A.S.K?
Oh, man. I feel like you're looking at, well, maybe Terminator from Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator from the second Terminator.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's already almost M.A.S.K anyway, or I don't think John McClane would. I think he's too much of a lone wolf,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Oh, but Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando, John
Oh, John
Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the way I'm gonna go. Yeah, John
That's a dope
Matrix.
movie, man. I like that. Yeah, Matrix, I think he would too. I feel like Murphy, before he's killed in RoboCop, probably would have joined Mask.
Okay.
But yeah, that was kind of where my head was at. Well, that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better. So thank you for that. Now, tonight, we're here to talk about Mask. What do you remember about Mask? Like, what's your history or experience with it?
So I know that I had a couple of the Mask toys. I know I had the truck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know where that is. I feel like that one got lost somewhere. Maybe my dad sold it at a garage sale. I don't, that one. I'm almost positive that somewhere in the basement near me is a box that has toys that I haven't opened in a while. And I know I've got the dune buggy, the one that turns from a dune buggy to like a glider, like airplane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
think I think that was more like the series 2, or I don't. But
Series 2 actually had some really cool,
but
uh,
I know I had
vehicles.
that toy, and then I had it two versions: the green motorcycle
Oh,
that
yeah.
turned into the
Condor.
helicopter.
I had that one.
Um,
Yeah, that was a good
I
one.
had that one, but my family had some friends from Germany, and they sent me a mask toy in German. And so I didn't care that I had the exact same motorcycle because like I had the German version. It was the exact same thing, just the box was printed in German. But like
That's awesome, though.
they literally didn't change a thing. Like it was just like other than just reprint the box.
That's still
But
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Um,
but I
Go
remember
ahead.
having those more than I remember having the truck. And I watched that episode of the Mardi Gras thing that we're going to talk about later, and I seem to have drawn a complete blank on the cartoon. I do remember watching it. I remember I must have watched it all the time back then, but it
Hmm.
has just exited the brain because none of it was familiar.
So I know what you mean because I watched Mask a lot. I had the toys. My cousin, his dad was pretty well off. So like he had tons of these toys. And so I would go over and play. And I remember watching the cartoon because we would play with the toys so much. I did not remember how much like science fiction was involved in the cartoon. Like there's a lot of weird like
Yeah.
alien energies and all sorts of things that you're just like, wait, what? But then there's also like magic involved in Mask, and it's like I thought this was just like GI Joe meets Transformers, but no, it's there's like a whole world that I didn't remember either. And this episode I had not seen, or if I had seen it, I didn't remember it. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, nothing rung a bell. Like not even the voices. Like I was just like, wow, like I know I saw that. I mean, I had to have seen it because
Yeah,
like you said, I mean, it was the Saturday. I mean, that was back when we only had four channels. So, like the watching options were limited. So,
right, right. And same. It's like we had cable, but not till like mid to late '80s. So before then, it was like, all right, what's on what's on channel 5, what's on channel 4, And so I remember watching it. I did remember Matt's Trakker's voice. I remembered Scott and T-Bob especially because T-Bob's voice really sticks with you. But as far as like the other guys, I didn't remember that Dusty was like Southern, I didn't
yeah,
even remember Buddy Hawk. So that we'll get into later, but no, but I'm right there with you. I also had several of the vehicles. I still have Condor, Thunderhawk, Rhino, and Volcano. And so I still have those toys, but there were several that broke, and I remember we got rid of them at like garage sales for like, 25 cents or something, 50 cents because they were like broken. So
oh
I'm kind
yeah,
of bummed about that. But Rhino was at that big rig,
okay,
the truck. And so I still have that one, but mine is like really, really damaged. And Thunderhawk still works pretty well. But I know the Loyal Subjects just came out with some reworked versions of them, so I picked up Condor and Thunderhawk for those as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boxes of toys that I have down here, I know I got G.I. Joes and Transformers. None of them are going to be worth anything because I played with my toys.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Until
same.
until around Phantom Menace, toys that were purchased for me were played with.
Yeah.
Then I was on by Phantom Menace, I was already in college, so those toys were purchased by me because I thought they'd be worth something.
That's right. That's right. We thought the Toy Biz, like the X-Men and Marvel lines, were going to be like worth so much. Because I remember Iceman was hard to find, Invisible Woman was hard to find, and like when you would look them up in the toy guides, they were worth like $65, $75. So we hunted them down, we found them, and now because the plastic, that material that they were made out of, that made them look invisible, makes them fade and weather. So like now they're worth like $5, $10. I mean,
Oh,
it's you had to like hide
yeah.
it from light, like it had to be sealed away in order for it to keep its like translucent material. So yeah, that's a bummer. Won't get into the history of M.A.S.K so much because I've talked about it twice before. This is my third episode on M.A.S.K, but we're going to be talking about two different things. One of them is a final UK comic published December 31st, 1988. Now, this is from Eagle and M.A.S.K. Eagle was a G.I. Joe kind of riff that had its own magazine and comic published in the UK. M.A.S.K had its own comic, and then eventually, when sales were poor, they kind of merged them together. And that's what this issue's from. So this is, where's the number there? No, that's 30 pages. I don't know if there is a number. It just says every Monday on it. But we're going to be talking specifically about the December 31st, 1988 issue of Eagle and M.A.S.K. And just like all the other UK comic books, there's really like 3 or 4 stories within it. And in this case, only one of them really is Christmas. So on the cover, there's a nice cover with Miles Mayhem dressed up as Santa. It's a yellow background. Scott and T-Bob are there for some reason with Miles Mayhem. And they have one of the Christmas crackers that they have in the UK, the little,
Right, yeah.
you like pull it and it pops and there's like a little gift or something in there. And they pop it and he jumps. And that's like the first 2 pages, the cover and like page 1. And that's it for like the Christmas, except for one story that's only like 3 or 4 pages called Christmas Kidnap. I gotta say, I like these UK comics because they're just odd and different, but also I wish they were in color. Like the black and white really, really bums me out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to, because it was black and white, I had to zoom in a little bit just to be able to read the words.
Yeah, same. Well, part of it's also that, we're getting older as well.
Yeah, all right. You're not wrong.
I was reading it on my phone, like, oh, okay. Just trying to bring it farther from my face and hit that sweet spot where I could see it. Eventually I had to just zoom in. I couldn't. Yeah. Christmas Kidnap. I assume you'd never read this one before. I hadn't.
No. No,
Yeah.
I don't even think except for listening to previous episodes and having done a couple other episodes or, the whole UK having their own separate comic line for Christmas stuff for like not just because we did the Thundercats
The
not too long
Thundercats.
ago.
Right,
And it was
right.
like, and I've listened to some of the other ones you've done about other various properties, and it's like, why did we not do any of the Christmas comics like here? Why, like England got the UK got them all, and America was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like
We
Christmas
love
comes
Christmas
every
here. We
year.
love Christmas more than you guys do, but you keep that over there.
I mean, maybe because it was the 80s. I don't know. Like nowadays, I feel like starting in like the 90s, like Home Improvement, I feel like had a Christmas episode like every season, just about. I mean, it almost felt like they weren't that big. Some shows had it, but most had like maybe one throughout its whole run.
Yeah.
But in comics, I don't know. I guess they thought, well, we'll sell more because X-Men even had like 2 or 3 in the 80s. So, I mean, Fantastic Four had one. There's one where Mr. Fantastic like builds like a fake tree, but when he presses a button on top, it all like collapses in like robotically, and so then he can store it really easily. I mean, of course, Mr. Fantastic would do that, but
Well, yeah.
but I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. All I know is that our comic starts off in a department store as Matt, in his like mask outfit. I don't know why he was like, going shopping with in full like regalia. But in his outfit, he leaves Scott and T-Bob at a toy store.
All right. I mean, it seems risky just in general to leave a kid in a toy store, especially with a mischievous robot.
Oh, I know. Well, and remember, like, our parents would, while they were shopping, they'd go over there, and we could just like stay and look at the toys, and we would just be in the toy section. But nowadays, like, I think about doing that with my kids. Like, nope, they're not getting out of my sight. I've heard too many true crime podcasts to know that's terrible.
I mean,
idea.
that was back in the day when, like, well, probably not in the 80s, but definitely in the 90s, we'd go to the mall, and my parents would be like, "You have a watch? Meet back here at this spot at 12:30, or whatever time it was."
Oh, it's scary. So they're admiring the toy robots. One of them's head pops off and hits T-Bob, and they have a good laugh. My note is, why is Matt in his mask suit? I don't know. But Scott convinces T-Bob to go to Santa Claus's grotto. There's like this big sign. There's a Santa outside, ringing the bell, and there's an elf. And the elf at the entrance, like, he tells two young kids to like scram. He's just like, beat it, kids. So Scott like gets after him, right? He reprimands him, and he says, well, the kids were naughty, but you've been good, Scott, and you can come in and see Santa. Robots aren't allowed, though, so T-Bob has to stay outside while Scott goes in. And like, as a reader, and I know I'm now 40-something-year-old guy reading this, knowing that I probably would have read it differently as a kid, but as soon as he called him Scott, I was like, all right, something's up with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And when he's like, robots aren't allowed, like, oh, come on, Scott. You should have known.
I know. Right, exactly. Like, you should know better, man. Your dad fights like a terrorist, an undercover terrorist organization. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So he goes into Santa's grotto, sits on Santa's lap, and when Santa asks him what he wants, he asks him for a real mask to fight Venom. And the Santa, he like gets all out of whack here. He calls him a disgusting, nasty little brat, and confirms Scott's suspicions that he's not really Santa and he's evil. And if he pulls the beard, and it's Miles Mayhem, the leader of Venom. It's funny because to me, growing up, if you ask most people, I think in the 80s, what the top cartoons were, it would be like G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, maybe Thundercats, and like Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats. I liked Voltron, and I liked M.A.S.K. So whenever I think of like great 80s villains, I always think of Miles Mayhem, even though I know Shredder is much, much, much more iconic than Miles Mayhem.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I for whatever reason, like, just drew that complete blank spot on Matt. When I watched it, like, certain things did come back, but like the voices and all that stuff. But like, seeing Miles Mayhem, I wasn't like, wait, who's that? I'm like, oh yeah. Right.
Yeah, exactly. That shows you how forgettable he is, right? Like, people remember his plane that turned into a helicopter and vice versa. They don't really remember him.
Right, yes.
But he presses a button on the chair that he's, the throne that Santa's sitting on, and it has like one of those sliding door where the chair like slides back, hidden door. I don't know what you call it, but anyway, he basically kidnaps Scott, right? So T-Bob goes after them, and the elf says they've like gone to the North Pole, which, okay, but he latches onto the elf's nose, right? Like crab style.
Yeah.
And he pulls off the mask to reveal Cliff Dagger. Cliff Dagger is the one with the eye patch. He's usually wearing the beanie. He's the one that drove one of the vehicles that we'll see later on in our episode that we're going to be talking about for Mardi Gras. He drives that vehicle. But yeah, so Cliff Dagger is kind of incapacitated for a little bit, but the Santa that was ringing the bell outside turns out to be Sly Rax, which, come on, Sly Rax, like, you're destined to be a criminal if that's your name.
Well, I mean, that was back in the 80s when all the criminals had names like Cliff Dagger and Sly Rax and Miles Mayhem. Like, you don't grow up Miles Mayhem and not immediately become the leader of of a terrorist organization.
That's true. That's true. Like, yeah, I think you're doomed at that point if your last name's Mayhem.
Right. Like, you're just following in the family footsteps there,
That's right. That's right. So T-Bob converts to scooter mode and he pieces out of there, right? Escapes through the store. And he switches on his voice locating radar, which thank goodness he does, because he's able to track Scott to the back of the store. Turns out Miles Mayhem and Nash Gory try to kidnap Scott by putting him into that snake oil tanker. That snake oil tanker, I believe, was from the second series. I didn't have it. My cousin did, and it was awesome. I remember all those toys. He had like so many of the cool ones. When they kind of converted to more of like the race cars, he had a lot of those. By that time, I think my parents were like, yeah, we're not buying you any more of these.
Sounds about right.
There was always a point, right? They're like, all right, well, you did good. Here's your report card was all A's. Okay, we'll get you like a little figure. But
yeah, you get a G.I. Joe figure.
Yeah, they were like $3, right?
Yeah. You don't get any other vehicles. You can just you got like 60 figures, but like one truck. Like
That's right. All the rest had to guard the base or something. So T-Bob tracks him down to the back. He kamikazes Mayhem, basically runs into him. And as Sly Rax and Cliff Dagger arrive, Scott rolls T-Bob like a bowling ball, which I don't see how, because T-Bob, I imagine, being machine, is probably pretty heavy. But he rolls him like a bowling ball and knocks them down. Unfortunately, while he does that, Mayhem like swipes him. He just grabs him from behind and throws him into the truck. So, in the craziest, but like very typical for the UK comics, this craziest turn of events, T-Bob starts throwing snowballs at this truck. It's like his last-ditch effort. It's like, what's a snowball going to do against a big old tanker, right?
Yeah, nothing really. I don't. That like the physics of that didn't make much sense to me.
No. Well, so apparently he knew that it wasn't really going to do anything. He just wanted to distract him enough that Scott could escape, and that they would kind of lose their way. I don't know, but that's what happens. He distracts them. Scott escapes, and while they're looking at him leave, they turn around and they run into a Christmas supply lorry, and it just spills Christmas stuff all over.
In case you forgot you were reading a British comic, using the word lorry for truck.
Lorry, exactly. It hard cut to like later, and Scott is walking with his dad Matt, and he wants to show him something, and so he brings him to the rubble. Venom is still trapped underneath all the Christmas supplies, which also, like, how are those things not boxed up? But whatever. And so it's just a big mess of Christmas, and Venom's just kind of sticking out, and they wish everybody a happy Christmas.
Well, and the driver of the other truck gets a special mask, like medallion or something. Or
that's right. Yeah, for losing his truck, we're gonna give you like special like decoder ring or something.
Little Orphan Annie's decoder ring.
That's right. Drink more Ovaltine. So that's the comic there. Now we're also going to be talking today about episode 21 from season 1 of M.A.S.K. This aired October 28th, 1985. It was called Mardi Gras Mystery. Fun that it aired in October, even though it's Mardi Gras, which is usually in February, but whatever. It's fun. That's fine. I don't remember this episode at all. Like this is another one that just kind of, I sure I've seen it because I saw most of them, but nothing rang a bell.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It just, like I said earlier, like it just for whatever reason, this cartoon, like I said, I know I had the toys. I distinctly remember like being into Mask. So I know I would have watched the cartoon because it was on. Like I watched a lot of the cartoons.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
same.
I don't know. Like I remember the Transformers. I remember GI Joe. I remember some of the other ones, but like I've purposely avoided Voltron because I tried to watch it once and I was like, I'm not going to ruin my memory of Voltron.
I I understand when like 10, maybe 15 years ago when they started releasing the whole series on DVD, in like the tin lions
Oh,
uh,
okay, yeah,
the lions case. I bought them. I watched the first 5 episodes because I remember they had cut those together to make like the movie, and I rented the movie
okay,
so much. So I watched the first 5 episodes, and after that, I had to stop. I collected them all because I had to collect it, but I could not
yeah.
continue
It's like
watching that.
my memory of Voltron is more important than actually rewatching Voltron. So I'm gonna
Exactly.
leave that where it's at. Like so,
Exactly.
apparently, I did not do the same with Mask because I was like, "What? Nope, don't remember this."
Yeah, I mean, it was so. I don't remember, and I think part of it is also, you talked about remembering GI Joe, Transformers. I feel like those were shown a lot more as well. Like
Okay,
GI
yeah.
Joe, Cartoon Express picked that up, and it was just reruns. And I've seen like the Synthezoid conspiracy, like I don't know how many times now. It's just I feel like those are also easier to remember because the cast of characters were so different. Like in this episode, Dusty and Buddy were almost, as far as their looks, were almost interchangeable. Like
Yeah.
it it took Buddy having to put on like a fake mustache and glasses for me to recognize who he was. It's like, oh, okay, this is a different guy.
Or when he talked. I mean,
Right, right. But like, you're just looking at him like they're so different. Like if Hondo had been there or Bruce Sato, like those guys were recognizable. This one is Mardi Gras. It is a Mardi Gras episode, and Mardi Gras is coming up this Wednesday. So Matt, I don't know. I've never been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, so I don't, or Nolans, or however you want to say it. But I don't know. Do people usually dress up? Is that a thing?
yes. I mean,
Okay.
it's a big, like, I mean, it's kind of like Carnival. Like, I mean, it's big parades and floats and like just a crazy, like, I've never been. I've just, like, I've kind of wanted to go, but at the same time, like, it's like the same thing with like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Like I want to go once just to say I've been, but at the
Right.
same time, I don't like being with that many people, so like I don't want to do it, you
Definitely.
know?
Definitely. Yeah. Even just like half of that, it's like, oh, no, no
Yeah,
thanks.
I don't even like going to the parade here in Burlington, Wisconsin. Like like not Burlington, Vermont, Burlington, Wisconsin. I don't even like going to that parade because there's like, 50 people down there. That's
That's too much. You're smothering
yeah.
me. I gotcha. So Matt's dressed up like Robin Hood. Scott's dressed up like a cowboy, and T-Bob has like a Native American like headband with some feathers. So I guess, cowboys and Indians or whatever.
I wish Mardi Gras ran all year long.
The best is yet to come, Scott.
They're watching these skydiving clowns, which cool. But also like clowns are scary enough, and now they're falling out of the sky. Oh man.
I've got something special to show you. Come on. I thought you'd like to see the floats up close before the parade.
Neato!
Look how many there are.
So he takes them to see the floats up close and personal right before the parade begins. There's a dragon. I don't know if you caught this. There was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they looked
Oh,
very close to the Disney
I missed that
models.
one.
And I was like, oh man, they're gonna get sued. Like Disney is litigious here. I mean, I guess they didn't, but that was they were pushing it there. There was a mermaid. There was a Frankenstein float.
Yes, I remember that one.
I mean, that's cool. I wouldn't mind seeing some of these floats as well. Ours are usually, like in the Arlington parade, they're usually kind of rinky-dink floats here. But as they're looking at it, a golf cart like just emerges from under the float, followed by the Piranha cycle. That's the Sly Rax's vehicle. And a little red-headed girl, not the one from Charlie Brown, runs out screaming for help. Their bad men are after her grandpa. Matt, because he is who he is, he kind of steps in the way, and so Sly Rax is there in his Native American garb. He also has like a headdress on. I mean, it's very cultural appropriation and probably borderline offensive, I imagine. But he and Cliff Dagger's dressed as a clown, they they try to take Becky, and so Matt like puts himself in the way. Becky's the little redheaded girl, and just as they're about to like get into it, Professor Daly, this I don't know, girl Becky knows, I guess, drives up in her car. She's like, Becky, get in, and Becky gets in, and they take off. And then one of the craziest thing happens where the fireworks momentarily blind the villains, and so they decide to leave. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you've inserted yourself in a situation where a little girl is asking for help, and then another random person comes up, and you're just like, oh, yeah, you can get in that car.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she knew her name, but yeah, I mean, like, he just let her go. Like,
oh, all right, this one seems fine.
But while all that's happening, Grandpa was driving that golf cart, and he's being chased by Miles Mayhem and Vanessa Warfield, because there was always at least one girl on each team, Evelyn and Tila.
Right,
and we got Vanessa Warfield here. And so they're in Jackhammer. That's Cliff Dagger's vehicle. And they're shooting lasers, and they don't want to kill the grandpa because he has something that they need. So they start shooting lasers at the trash cans and knocking him over to slow him down enough that they can catch up with him. But also, like, that's risky. You're trying not to kill him, but what if he had hit one of those and, like, his little golf cart had flipped? Like...
Yeah, I don't think they really thought their plan out.
No. But then Miles Mayhem uses the Viper mask, and they kind of overtake him. Viper is the one that shoots the acid and all that. So I remembered his acid mask, and I remembered the look, because it's very, like, boxy. Everything's like, some of the other masks are more round, but it's very angular and boxy looking, and the way he's dressed usually is like very military, like Russian general, or like not quite Nazi, but yeah.
Yeah, he has the Russian general look with the mustache, the gray hair,
big, thick mustache, yeah.
Yeah. The question I had at this point was, though, like, these are some of the main villains. How does Matt not immediately go, hey, I know these people, or I recognize
right.
that vehicle? I mean, I guess I understand maybe why they don't recognize him, because he's not in his outfit. He's not wearing the helmet. Like, he's dressed up like Robin Hood. And, if Superman can get away with not being known because he puts on some glasses, then, maybe Matt can fool everybody by putting on a Robin Hood. But the other ones are, like, clearly, like, driving the Venom vehicles. Like, how does Matt not go, I know what's going on here?
Well, and like, say, Cliff Dagger has the clown makeup on, so he gets a pass. But Sly Rax just has that headdress. You can see his face, like you can see his goatee, you can see his glasses. It's clearly him.
Yeah, no, I was a little confused as to why Matt didn't pick up on that right away.
Because it was the 80s, I guess. But also, like, how did they not know that it was Matt when he's with a boy, this young boy that looks like Scott, and also a robot? And not just any robot. It's a very distinct looking robot, right? Like,
that is true. Yeah. So I was trying to give him a pass because he was wearing a costume, but you're right. They should be like, hey, we fight this guy like every week. Like, know thy enemy.
Let's shoot him.
Know thy enemy.
That's right. So anyway, Matt and Scott, they go to the crime scene. They find it littered with garbage cans, and they inspect, and they discover there's a piece of paper with the formula for like a new fuel on it, which I don't know how he understood that right away, but good for him.
According to this, the cart's engine blew up from the gas it used.
Here, Let me see. Not gas, Scott. It looks more like a very powerful new fuel. That cart was doing at least 100.
But what burned the seat? Is it...
Analysis complete. Burning agent, acid compound, 15% carbolic acid, 9% neutral dioxide, remainder hydrogen suspension. Only known user, Miles Mayhem.
Venom?
We knew Venom was operating in New Orleans. Now we know what they're after.
But they have the computer analyze like the remains of the acid that they found, and it's a special compound only used by Miles Mayhem. So if they haven't figured out that it was Venom before, they sure know now. But they find that they realize that Venom was after the fuel. They find Grandpa's hat. And so they ask the computer to choose a team, and it chooses Dusty Hayes, the all-terrain specialist in demolitions. He drives Gator. And Buddy Hawk, the undercover specialist, who drives Firecracker.
Scan personnel files for the best mask agents for this mission.
Personnel selected. Dusty Hayes, all-terrain specialist, tracking and demolitions. Vehicle code name, Gator. Buddy Hawks, undercover operations and disguise specialist. Vehicle code name, Firecracker.
Personnel approved. Assemble Mobile Armored Strike Command.
I did not have any of these vehicles, but my cousin did. When I saw them, I was like, I remember that. It was cool. Yeah, didn't have it.
Yeah.
So they go to Professor Daly's lab, and they find the glowing and twinkling tree branches. And a colleague that was there, that when I first saw it, I swear I thought this guy was in on it, but he's not. He's just a colleague with like a German or German by way of New Orleans accent. It was all over the place. He hadn't heard from her. He says that the branches are from fire trees that only grow in Gardener's Point, and there's a Cajun gentleman that brings them to the lab. So they realize that might be Becky's grandpa, and they're going to investigate further. I mean, do they just tell anybody anything? I mean, everybody's
Sure seems like it.
with information. It's the craziest thing.
Right. And it's not like Matt Trakker like shows up and shows like, like some sort of ID badge. He's like, oh, M.A.S.K. As if there's some sort of law enforcement agency and not some sort of vigilante group. I don't remember what their official capacity was, but.
Yep. The Mobile Armored Strike Command, I think they worked with we hear about later, like the Peaceful Nations.
Yeah, whatever, because
like
they couldn't say the United Nations, so they had to make
Right.
up some version of it.
Right, exactly. I think they work for them. I mean, now, of course, this is retroactive, but now they're part of G.I. Joe, so I guess they're technically government enforced or government funded, but no, they were just a private. You're right. It's kind of like Knight Rider and Kit. They're just like a private organization. So meanwhile, Mayhem tries to get Grandpa to take them to the fire trees. They say that they discovered it because Professor Daly contacted the Peaceful Nations Alliance, the Science Council, talking about the trees, and the message was intercepted. So then we hard cut to Buddy Hawk in his mustache and glasses disguise, which I know it wasn't quite that, but it always made me, like when I saw it, it made me think of like those large nose and mustache attached to the glasses disguises. Right? I mean, like he's a disguise like specialist and he's just wearing a fake mustache and some glasses.
Completely fooled. Nobody saw it.
Come on, buddy. Come on. So Matt and Dusty go to Gardener's Point. Scott, who at this point is also wearing a little fake beard and mustache, he's told to stay in the hotel. Now, while Buddy's infiltrating this auction for the fuel, Sly Rax is there. He rebuffs a bid for $500,000 from this dude because he's like, it's worth way more than that. And Buddy sneaks in, but he does a terrible job of sneaking in. He might be an expert at disguise, but he's terrible at like ninjutsu or stealth ops or anything like that. Like his recon is really bad.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just question all of his expertise, quite honestly.
Maybe he can drive. I don't know. That's about it. So, yeah, but He sneaks in the back. Professor Daly is now tied up, so somehow in between her rescuing Becky, she's been caught and tied up. But it's like Rax and Dagger, like, they discover him. He says Louis sent him, and just then Louis, the guy that bid $500,000, walks in and says,
Funny thing that I'm Louis, and I didn't send you.
And they put him in a closet, apparently.
Yeah, there's really not good at espionage. Really, apparently not good at fighting, since he immediately got captured and tied into a closet.
Yeah, I don't know what his expertise is, but
I don't know why the computer picked that guy.
they've just felt bad for him. It's like, oh, we haven't picked him in like 3 episodes. We got to use him. So Scott and T-Bob sneak out of the hotel to get some pralines. Sure. And luckily, they do so just as Dagger drives by with Professor Daly. So they try to radio Matt, but of course, they're out of range because of course they are. And so they motor scooter to tell him in person. And that's like their excuse and their whole reason. I gotta say, every single episode, Scott ends up helping way more than they think he will. Like, they always try to keep him safe and tell him to stay back, and he ends up going anyway. Like, at this point, just take him along with you, you know? Somehow he's gonna help.
Yeah. Maybe he should have teamed up with Penny.
Oh man, they'd be like a power couple.
They would have just, no crime would have existed in the planet.
Send him to Gotham, they'll clean it up. Oh man. So Matt and Dusty are driving through the swamp, and Scott and T-Bob are as well. Scott and T-Bob actually run into Becky, and then the thing that all of us kids feared in the 80s happened. They fell into quicksand.
Or a lake. I couldn't figure out which.
It looked more like, I thought it was like a pond or a lake or something, but she says, as soon as she said, don't move, you'll make it worse. It's like, oh, okay, it's quicksand. And then later on they mentions quicksand. But like, yes, the color was not great on this one here.
Are you okay, Becky?
Help! I'm too young to rust. I'm still under warranty. Do something.
I can't move either. Don't move! You'll sink faster! What? Somebody help!
So T-Bob extends his arm, gets him out, and then they're going to try to go find their dad. Becky warns them not to go a certain way because there's alligators. Scott ignores her because she's just a girl, but after running into an alligator, then he decides he's going to walk Becky home, and he gets his Mac on. Oh, man. I mean, talk about random. There was a lot of random in this.
Yeah. A lot of just Deus Ex Machina of just like everything working out. Like he just happens to leave the house at that time.
Right.
Happens to run into Becky, happens to do,
Yeah, yeah, strange. So Rax and Dagger and Jackhammer, they lock Buddy in the closet, like I mentioned, and they're driving through the swamp with Daly tied up. Matt and Dusty spot them, and so they put on their masks and they start following, but Rax spots them as well. He sees them, so he adds that super fuel to Jackhammer and basically just outdrives them. I mean, it's going crazy.
Let's show them what happens when you add some of that super juice to the jackhammer.
And he starts knocking over trees, and I thought, how tough is Jackhammer that he's able to just knock over these trees? Because that's insane. Usually a car hits a tree and the car is the one that gets knocked over.
The super fuel just really like amped everything with that truck or whatever that was, whatever vehicle that was. Not only does it make it go super fast, it gives it super strength.
Or maybe Jackhammer was coated with that same coating that Kit was laced with. But okay. No, I like yours better. I think it gets super strength. So the kids arrive at Becky's house. And that's where Becky kind of shows Scott about some sap from the fire trees, how the grandpa distills the sap to get the lamp oil. And as he's doing that in the process, there's a very thick, like viscous part that gets left behind, this waste like residue, this resin. And that's like super dangerous.
Grandpa filters out the thick part of the sap. Then he boils the light-colored part to give us the lamp oil, the sparkly stuff in the other bottle.
Then what do you do with the gunky stuff?
Nothing. Grandpa says it's too dangerous. Put that in your car and it'll blow you to the moon.
So Mayhem threatens Grandpa with acid, and Rax shows up, reports their encounter with M.A.S.K. So they bring Daly out and they propose a trade. So they'll give Jacques Daly if he gives them the formula and the location of the fire trees. Well, while all that's happening, Buddy arrives and helps Matt and Dusty out of their tree trap, I guess. And they clear the vehicles, which I gotta say, I saw them pulling these trees just pulling them with their strength. Like, there's no way you're pulling this tree. You have like these masks that can do cool things, like use your masks, Yeah. Because you are not strong enough to pull these trees.
No. They didn't drink that super fuel.
They should have. It would have given them super strength. But they follow the trail, and as they roll up, they convert their vehicles to defense mode finally, because they couldn't do it earlier because it was just too blocked off. So they keep shooting enough to lay down the suppressive fire and keep Venom away from their vehicles.
M.A.S.K! Keep them away from their vehicles. Right, Chief, here goes.
They shoot him and some of the guys get stuck in mud puddles. Matt does this awesome backflip, which makes me think, wow, this guy's really trained with the best here. And he turns on Spectrum, and it challenges Vanessa's mask, and he kind of cancels it out a little bit, which I thought was cool. But Scott, while all M.A.S.K are doing all this fighting, Scott grabs the thick part of that sap, that resin or residue or whatever it is, and he puts it in Venom's gas tanks.
I'm glad Venom didn't have time to take this thick stuff. We'll give Venom a ride they'll never forget.
Good idea.
Smart. See, Scott is like the smart one here.
Yeah.
So Dusty uses backlash to topple Venom. He breaks all the vials, like all the vials of stuff that they had. They crash to the ground, they break. So they decide they're going to retreat, and as they're going, their vehicles go haywire because of that super fuel resin. And Becky and Grandpa are reunited, and everything's awesome. It ends with the guys, they're fishing, they're picnicking. The Peaceful Nations Alliance is going to protect the trees, and they're going to send a squad to give Becky and Grandpa, I don't know, like witness protection or something, I guess.
One of those special M.A.S.K medals they gave the truck driver.
That's right. The little Orphan Annie Dakota ring. And Scott puts a drop of that super fuel into T-Bob, who starts going crazy. What a jerk move, Scott. Sorry. You saved the day, but come on, man. He's your bud.
I did.
Anyway.
I did have one question.
Yeah.
So, as Venom is running away, one of the low-level henchmen, or not Miles Mayhem, jumps on the running gear of the helicopter, or whatever it is before it turns into a helicopter.
Oh, yes, Sly. Yeah. That was Sly.
And
Rax
it goes crazy and starts flying away, and then it turns into an airplane. What happened to that guy?
He was crushed.
Never seen in another episode after that.
No, he is. So I guess he was okay, but yeah, that seems dangerous. That's like what would happen if you're inside a transformer when it transforms, Yeah. Either this dude is just super strong or super durable. Maybe he drank some of the super fuel, but I don't know. I mean,
I saw that and I'm like he jumps on and is hanging on as it's flying away, and then it goes haywire. I'm like it doesn't show him getting brought into the he's just gone. What happened to him?
Maybe he let go.
If he was smart.
And then there's the public service announcement at the end about, if you're not sure, find out what numbers to do in an emergency, who to call and things like that. Got to have that. Now it makes it educational, and you can get past all of the
What
all
year
of the
did you say this
restrictions.
cartoon came out?
This is from 85. So by that time, the
85.
restrictions had already kind of
Right.
relaxed, but
When did 911 happen?
it was earlier. I think it was in the 60s or 70s, actually.
Okay. That's because I kept waiting for them to say, "Oh, this is a phone, dial 911." He was like, "No, dial the operator. Like, he'll let you, like, they'll tell you how to contact people." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh." I should have, I didn't have time to look up what, well, I guess I had time. I just forgot until right now. But,
No, I know, same. Well, now I'm curious. Let's see. Oh, wow. 1957.
oh,
Okay, so 67, I think, is when
Okay.
it, and 68.
So-
67,
all right, yeah, so that-
68.
I
So,
just-
yeah, it
it
was out
struck-
by now.
yeah, so that struck me as weird that the PSA was for dialing the operator, not dialing 911. But okay, all right.
Maybe it was so that it was shown in different countries.
Okay,
But
yeah,
no, see, because I feel like the dub would just, or the
yeah,
subtitle would just say it, right?
right,
I don't
yeah.
know. That is funny.
Yeah, it just struck me as weird, but
What did
again,
you think? What did you think of Matt's Spectrum mask? That one was always one of my favorites. I liked his mask.
I mean, the mask the cartoon is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure how well it's holding up compared to other ones, but the vehicles were cool, the masks were cool. Like, I mean, it was a cool concept. It's one of those that, like, I feel like the whole thing is ripe for like a modern kind of remake or revamp, kind of like leave like some of it alone, but just kind of like modernize it a little bit. And like, I mean,
Yeah.
still leave it animated. We don't have to do everything big budget live action, but like there's just so much work that can be done there. And, the people still buy toys and nostalgia
Yeah.
is huge. Like, I'm shocked given that they've redone Thundercats, they've redone G.I. Joe, they've redone Transformers. Like, this one hasn't gotten the same love that a lot of the other ones have gotten.
Yeah. I don't know, but you're right. I think it'd be perfect. I mean, it feels like, especially with the Loyal Subjects re-release of the toys, there's another company, I think maybe Ramen Toys or something like that. I don't remember, but they're actually making the Spectrum mask that Matt Trakker wears that you can purchase now, which is super cool. I want one. I don't know where I'd put it or what I'd do with it, but I want one so bad.
No.
But like, it feels like, and also the Voltron movies coming out. I mean, there's like, this is perfect, right? We had Transformers movies. We're used to cars that do things that are cool. Like, let's just get it out and make it awesome. What would you say, or actually, first of all, if you could be in this episode, who would you be?
Well, I want to be the Southern guy because I would be a better spy, I guess.
Right.
I mean, granted, growing up down south, I could do a better Southern accent, but
Right. Right. He said some funny things, man. One of them I might be doing it a little bit, but it's just like, I don't think I've ever heard that saying before. Well, what would you say is your happiest memory or moment?
I mean, it's not going to be from this episode or from the comic, but I remember getting the motorcycle when my German friend sent it to me. Like, like just having like those masked toys, like, making my G.I. Joe play, long before G.I. Joe and M.A.S.K were officially together anyway. In my house, in my bedroom, G.I. Joe and M.A.S.K were together. Like they were already teamed up. Like they just had to get with where I was already. So
I mean, I feel like we all did that, right? We were just like, it was just a big Crisis on Infinite Earths or something.
Well, yeah. They also teamed up with the Autobots, so,
Yep. And He-Man and Thundercats were in there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's got to be just going to my cousin's house and playing. There was this one time where I think the toys were out, so we might have been 6. It might have been when the second wave had already come out. So I think 1986, and his dad left us alone in the house for like a little bit. He had to go run some errands, and he locked the door, but like we were just there by ourselves playing M.A.S.K, and we didn't even realize he was gone for like 40 minutes. He came back. He was like, "I'm sorry it took longer." We're like, "You were gone?" But we were so into it, you know. But I remember he just had so many, and it was really cool playing with some of those that I didn't have. But now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with a Spoon, where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of one of these things here, the comic or the episode. As a guest, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene a little bit for us.
All right, so the Southern guy, or the wannabe Southern guy, has been kidnapped, and he's trying to say that Louis sent him. And Louis kicks in the door and goes, "Here's the thing. I'm Louis. I didn't send no one."
That was good. that was good. So I picked the Southern guy, Dusty, and he goes, this is when Matt like asks him if he wants to go in the swamp or something. He says, this is gonna be terrible because my Southern accent's bad, but he goes, "Oh right, I haven't been swamp slopping in a dog's age." Swamp slopping. Is that a thing?
I mean, I'm not going to say I grew up in that part of the South. I mean, it was Memphis and Atlanta, but I don't remember anyone ever going, "Hey, let's go down there swamp slopping."
Same.
I heard dog's age. I heard, "Hey, man, I hadn't done that in a dog's age." But
I've heard that too, but swamp slopping is a new one on me.
Swamp slopping, you know, I can't, you know, I've heard frog gigging. You know, we'll go get down there and go frog gigging.
I haven't heard that one, but I like it.
You know. But yeah, no, swamp slopping, not one that I've heard. No.
Yeah. Oh man, but you know, G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
That if you approach a random guy in a Robin Hood costume, he has to help you.
That's amazing. That's way better than mine. I just thought if no one's half the battle, the other half is just swamp slopping. Oh man, Nicholas, this has been a lot of fun talking with you. Tell me about your show or anything else you want to plug.
Well, Pop Culture Roulette, we talk about anything, everything pop culture. If we want to talk about it, we claim that it's pop culture and talk about it. We do a lot of brackets. We've been kind of on a bit of a hiatus recently, so you know, hopefully we'll get back after now that the Super Bowl is over and Christmas and New Year's and all that other stuff is done with. Like maybe we can get back on track and get, you know, back into regular, you know, scheduled things. But we'll do themes here and there. Like during Christmas, we'll try to theme stuff out. But like, you know, it's just whatever we feel like talking about, whatever's interesting. Like, you know, back when Hulk Hogan died, we did a big wrestling episode where we ranked, we listed all the wrestlers turned actors and decided who we determined was the best actor, not just best wrestler. Yeah. So, you know, or, you know, whenever there's something that happens, like we try to theme it maybe a little bit, but, you know, we just have fun. We try to entertain each other, and that's what is important, making each other laugh.
Yeah.
Don't know if anybody else laughs because nobody ever comments, but, you know, hey.
Well, the top green episodes. That one was fun.
Yeah, that was.
I like all the brackets. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we get weird, you know, but hey, you know.
It's for sure. Yeah, definitely check it out. You've also been frequent guests, well, not only here, but also on moving panels, on 80s Flick Flashback, and things like that.
Yeah.
They're always great. Good times. One of my favorite episodes was the vice versa one we did.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
But definitely, go check out Pop Culture Roulette. You won't regret it. But on that note, let me say once again, thank you. And I'll end it with, we knew Venom was operating in New Orleans. Now we know what they were after. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like Scott, wishing every day was like Mardi Gras, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. I might as well end this day of total disaster by wishing everyone a happy Christmas. Later, dudes.
Would you know how to get help if there was an emergency?
You yell till somebody comes?
There's something even better. The phone.
Right, Scott. Everyone should find out what number to call to get help, from the police or fire department.
But you can always dial O if you forget, and the operator will help you.